Hello Cancer, welcome to your last horoscope for 2022. Can you believe it? Hello Cancer, welcome back. As I said, this is your last horoscope for this year. And it brings with it a really lovely moment of hope and faith and practicality and discipline. Now, those things might not sound like they have a lot in common, but I think that for you, they probably really do. This lunation in Capricorn, so it's a new moon on Friday, the 23rd of December, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. So a couple of days before the festive season, you know. This is all playing out in your 7th house of relationship, of your nearest and dearest. And so to have a new moon in this house right before the possibilities of festive season is a lovely moment to send off this year with. I want you to think about everybody that you love, everybody that you care about, everybody that you would consider a really important part of your life. And I would like for you to, in your magical way at a new moon, manifest connection, manifest reconciliation, manifest foundations in a lot of ways. We've got some great supportive energy in the mix. There's 6 planets in cardinal signs. 5 of them are in Capricorn. So you're a cardinal sign, Cancer. You're cardinal water, which means initiating water, initiating emotional connection, feeling, love. In tarot, you're represented by the Chariot, which is perfect cardinal water. This figure, and I've described this card to you many times, but they're leading the charge. They're leading the emotional charge. They're balancing their light and their dark in order to get to the next clearing in our emotional body. As a Cancer rising, you have a lot to teach us about nurturance, a lot to teach us about care and about love and about protection. And Capricorn rules your 7th house. So Capricorn rules your relationships. What do we know of Capricorn? And how can we get to the root of that? How can we come to respect what Capricorns are capable of? And how can we relate that work ethic to our relationships? Capricorns are very solo, I might suggest. There's something which is probably in opposition to the Cancerian self, but there's something of a solo mission around the energy of Capricorn. They feel that they must work, that they must achieve, that they must strive forward, that they must set up the foundations. They're doing it for other people, but their mission feels solo. Whereas Cancer only wants to be around people, only wants to care for others, only wants for them to feel what they feel. You and Capricorn have a lot to teach one another. And at a lunation in your 7th house, it's a great moment to ask for what you need from your relationships and also come to realize what you can offer your relationships. Mercury is the messenger, our mouthpiece, or the God's mouthpiece to us, the planet that allows us to speak what the gods wish for us to say through our bodies. Venus is the planet of love and connection and beauty and majesty. And a new moon is a lovely, magical moment. I think that there's some more energy that I want to discuss very briefly, because I said that there were 6 cardinal 6 planets in cardinal signs. The 6th is Jupiter in Aries. And so Jupiter, we know, brings expansion and optimism and something to look forward to. There's a magnifying glass quality with Jupiter that wishes to grow whatever it touches. For you, Aries, which is where Jupiter is just now at 0 degrees, forming a square with this lunation, pressure point. Aries is your 10th house, which is your career and your legacy, your most public face. So what I feel at this lunation, Cancer, is that there's going to be a great deal of opportunity for you in that area. There's going to be a great deal of expansion and movement and growth in your legacy, in your public self. I would set down some of that urgency just at this lunation, just at this holiday period. I think that it's important to focus on those things. And in fact, Capricorn in the natural zodiac rules the 10th house. Capricorn loves the 10th house, loves work, legacy, business. And there is going to be time for that. There's going to be time to focus on that part of yourself. At this lunation, at this Capricorn new moon, I'd like for you to use your emotional connectivity in your relationships. Reach out to folks that you love and admire. Tell them so. Tell them that you care about them. Tell them that you need them. And tell them that you are available for their needs as well. The reason I brought that up is just because it is a square, so there is pressure between Jupiter and this slew of other planets, particularly the lunation. So there might be things on your mind, there might be all of those holiday movies about the caregivers being too wrapped up in work to recognize the magic of the season. That's what I'm kind of, the images that's racing through my mind at the moment when I look at this configuration. That's a cliche, obviously, but I think that there's something to it for you, Cancer, specifically. These 2 houses are being activated in this configuration with this emphasis on the 10th, but with this need and this opportunity to reach out in the 7th. We're going through a really beautiful time of change. I've changed my tack, haven't I? But I have, we have to. I'm moving and working through my Gemini moon moment, and I've come to a place where I am looking forward to the next year. Astrologically, I'm looking forward to 2024. Astrologically, there's going to be lots of movement. There's going to be lots of things that will affect all of us. There's going to be a change, possibly, in our perception of the world and our access to a feeling of humanity, to a feeling of caring for our fellow man. We're going to need to band together, I really suspect, over these next years. And I think that probably this work can start at home for you, Cancer, in your relationships, in those that you hold close. Probably a good time to hold them closer, and not in a way that you know how to play it, you know what to do, you know how to express your love. That's what you're here for, to lead the charge in expressions of love. So set down the worries about the 10th house, set down the pressure of the most visible part of you, because Jupiter is there now, and Jupiter is going to be bringing some lovely light to that part of your life, and some great opportunities maybe to heal some difficulty that's been lingering around in there. The holidays are a really difficult time. We're told as a group, as a culture, a consumerist culture, that now is the moment to express our love through buying things and through getting together and putting up with relationships that you normally reserve just this bit of time a year for. And that can bring up censoring, that can bring up, some folks don't feel that they can be themselves, or some folks are experiencing a little lamentation during this period of the end of the year. I look forward to celebrating when the sun enters the first degree of Aries. That's when we can, as a zodiac family, celebrate the beginning of a new cycle, a new cosmic cycle that's separate to the tradition that we're growing up in. And that's not to say that tradition doesn't bear its importance and its place in your life. If the holiday period is something that you truly celebrate and you really get involved and you can find things to be, grateful for, you can find the magic of the season, then by all means, please do it. Do it. And I think that this lunation actually might even be a nice invitation to, right before the holiday period, to make a wish, say some prayers for those that you really love. There's going to be a lot of work for you to do coming up, Cancer. I can feel it. And yeah, we'll talk about it in probably a different horoscope, because there's lots of movement that's occurring, and it's affecting, different parts of your chart. But I'd like to really settle on, we are back in gear, aren't we? That's what we've been told. Action stations, back to it, back to work, back to churning and burning out, back to being distracted by productivity, back to the bottom line, back to being a good citizen and producing. And for someone so sensitive, I could imagine that it might be a bit of a tailspin. You might be feeling a bit dizzy. There was a long period, and depending on whereabouts you live in the world, and obviously what kind of work you do as well, some folks never got the chance to stop. I think for those of us that did get a chance to stop and really come into a rhythm of meditation, come into a rhythm of getting through each day and bare bonesing it, really breaking life down to its simplest essence. There was a lot of confrontation that happened in that period. There was a lot of beauty that was found in that period too. And I think that this might be a great time of the year to come to recognize that, and come to recognize where your priorities have shifted and how you're going to divvy up your energy that's different to the way that maybe it was doled out before. You're going to make great things happen, Cancer. You're going to succeed. You're going to bear witness to a beautiful legacy that lays behind you. A lot of that has to do with love. A lot of that has to do with coming together. And a lot of that has to do with your intimate relationships. Who do you love, and who needs to hear it at this time? Capricorn's very interesting. There's definitely sort of sometimes you just, you've got to let them do their thing. I think that the lesson in having Capricorn in your 7th house, Cancer, is your ability to get to the sweet spot, to gently allow vulnerability in others, allow folks to be vulnerable, and allow folks to feel the simplicity of love and joy. They're beautiful messages to have at an end of a year. And what great footing to start the new one, I'd say. That's your reading, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know how you'd like to see my work evolve next year. I have plans and I've got ideas and I've got things that I'm thinking about. I'm going to hang on to the horoscopes. I really enjoy this ritual of mine that's developed. I've got a couple of little different time management things to figure out, so I'm not consistently thinking two weeks ahead. It's important for me to actually experience the astrology too. I do publish these 1 week before it happens, and then obviously I film that a few days before that, so it's sort of, I'm working that out. I'd like to make more of this. I really am enjoying myself, and this kind of work is really, I think I've found something in it. I found a way to be useful. So I'd love to hear your opinion. How can I be of greater service to you in the coming years as we experience these ingresses, which means shifting signs of the big planets? Saturn will be moving, Pluto will be moving. It's important for us. So what would you like to learn, and how can I help? That's it, Cancer. I'll see you next year. I love you heaps. Head to umaruby.com, book yourself a birth chart reading. Tell your friends. Bye.